episode. Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast. Me and Nick. We don't have a name for it yet, so hopefully that's to be something soon we will announce. I'm Sarah. I've been doing SEO for 10 years, and you've probably seen me like post a lot on LinkedIn. That's what I'm most known for, I guess. Nick, you want to introduce yourself?
For sure. My name is Nick. I'm doing SEO like from 2016, so not like full 10 years, but like coming into that like soon. And I'm owner of agency Get Stuff Digital in the last like 4 years. So basically that will be like the most like, and yeah, like clearly the people can find me also on LinkedIn. I'm not like sharing that much as Sara, but like I'm trying to keep up there. Yeah, that was like nice intro for us as we are still trying to find a name for this, and maybe we can like ask even people to help us with that as we want to actually proceed with this series in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I came across Nick when he was talking a lot about Webflow. Not a lot of people were talking about it, so that was very interesting. And right now we work together on SEO projects. We just wrapped up our first SEO project together, which was a pretty cool collaboration. And we are waiting for some cookies to be shipped to us. Anyways, I'll share that once we have the cookies, definitely. What we're like the direction we're thinking about is we want to chat about trending SEO topics and this like and bring different point of views to the table, and that's okay. And the suggestion for today's topic is SEO versus GEO, that sort of situation. Nick, you want to go first, or
Yeah, I
what
can,
are
I
your
can.
thoughts on this? Yeah, go.
For sure. First, I want to just to like make a slight recap of what you said. Like yes, we met like yeah, and in time flies like almost 2 years ago. Like when we actually recorded our first podcast, that led to this amazing collaboration, and I'm very proud of the first project, as you said, that we like finished successfully, and I cannot wait for the cookies too, and to share like with people our success like on that, and I'm sure we're gonna have like a lot more in the future. Regarding like the part of the topic for today, also I would just like give slight note that we want to have like open conversation so that people are not expecting like some scripted things there. If we don't agree about something, we will not agree like openly here, and I hope with our guests in the future. So regarding geo or whatever like, people calling that, I calling that more like SEO for LLMs or optimization for LLMs and traditional SEO. Yes, I'm pretty vocal about my views on AI. So if you ask me like if SEO is the same as a geo, I would say not, because like that's the part that like if you like separate that by some models that we should like optimize to be present in LLMs, it is clearly different than traditional SEO. But at the same way, if you ask me if Geo is a standalone service that you should offer, I would be very vocal that you are a fraud if you're doing that. Why? Because like Geo is like based, as I said, on those models. Like for me personally, probably in some percentage of 80 or maybe even more than that on traditional SEO. So if you want to like optimize, I really think that like Geo is a standalone discipline, but because of overlap with SEO, it is something that is like more as part of SEO than like standalone optimization for LLMs. I know that that's like maybe some stance that I have here that like a lot of experts will not accept with. But at the end of the day, like again, like if client come to me and ask me, hey, I want to be present on LLMs, I would always give them like the same answer, hey, that is SEO, and then on top of that, that will affect more your visibility there. So I would open this conversation with this. statement, and I'm very interesting to hear what you think about that, Sarah. So yeah.
Thoughts. So I know Google has been saying good SEO is just the GEO and that sort of thing, but here's the thing. When they say this, when they talk about GEO, they're talking about AI overviews, and that's not the only platform, right? Like there's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and they cannot really speak for those platforms. So that's one thing I want to clarify. And then what what I see is that a lot of the pushback on the term GEO or whatever is that people think, hey, you want to sell those services as a standalone service, like, hey, this is SEO, but I also offer GEO as a different service. And I'm not speaking for everyone. Some people are selling it. That's on them to like explain their point of view. But for me, it's more of having an understanding that there are things that we may not usually do out of our part as part of our usual SEO work. I've seen people say talk about Reddit, for example. We've yet to see an SEO person come and say, "Hey, Reddit is part of my usual SEO strategy." Even though Reddit is like dominating a big part of search, it's not. Like it's very rare, and we usually talk about, hey, we want to use Reddit, but it's not part of our not it doesn't fit under technical content or authority,
Absolutely.
right? Or even user experience. It doesn't fit under any of those buckets, and this is where I would put it. Okay, this is GEO, right? So it's sort of explaining part of the tactics that are unique to GEO and are not part of SEO. And as you said, I agree. There's a huge overlap between the two. I don't see selling GEO as a separate service, but there is a lot of things. I had a recent discussion, for example, about brand mentions. 5 years ago, for example, if you said to your manager or to your client, hey, I'm going to monitor brand mentions online, that would mean nothing to them. It's either a link, do follow or no follow. That's all that matters. Right now, it does matter because LLMs, have training data, and the more your name is mentioned, the more likely you
Yes.
to be that sort of thing. So, listicles, for example, have a special weight in LLMs. You may want to use platforms like LinkedIn Pulse, for example. It gets cited like that sort of. There is a lot that goes on. I wouldn't say a lot, but there is some uniqueness to what goes on to appearing in LLMs that's not the same in SEO. And not everything is about selling. Sometimes it's just about analyzing and researching and looking into things. I think my concern in general in the industry is the negative labeling when people come up with new ideas. I remember a few years ago when the Department of Justice documents first came out, and it was very clear that Google is using user behavior for ranking. It was not debatable in those documents. We still got pushback because people were like, okay, how would you optimize for user behavior? If we don't know how to, it doesn't mean it's not a ranking, it does not impact our ranking. That's a question we want to answer, but it doesn't, I cannot deny this because I don't know what to do about it, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, I would really wish to see more open-mindedness in the industry and more healthy debates where it's okay we disagree on this, but I'm not name calling you. I'm not gonna call you narrow-minded, and you're not gonna call me a spammer or a scammer or whatever. Like, and again, I'm not saying everyone is a good player. Some people are misusing GEO, right? But the misusing the term and the trend and all, to sell people, but those people probably were doing the same with SEO in other ways before that. Like it's not right. Like
Absolutely.
it's not they woke up one day and they started being they probably were doing something in the past as well.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Like, I really think, like, in terms of selling that, like, I would treat, and you actually gave me, like, a good intro for this part, and this answer. I would probably treat the Geo as, like, add-on, like, on top of SEO, because, like, again, overlap is such a huge thing there that you basically need to have, like, a good traditional SEO in place to actually start with Geo. So regarding that part, I understand. Also, like I would maybe like accept Geo as again like add-on service for the brands that are actually super established on search already, if those brands for some reason don't show up in LLMs. But I would say that like mostly from our own analysis that I ran like with my team members, we found out that like mostly like if you're present very well on SEO in traditional way, you're gonna be present in LLMs, and that's like a lot of factors that actually are contradictory there. That like you can sell a GEO without SEO, because if you're selling GEO without SEO, you will probably target people that get like good SEO because you need SEO for GEO, you know, and then like you're gonna like check their rankings and they will be present in LLMs, and then like the whole part of that like falling down. Clearly, you can improve ranking, as you said, like. For majority of our own clients, so like I'm very open about that. Instantly when like a mode got announced and like query LLM became big, a part of that we instantly gave option to our clients to add on specific services. One of those are actually like one of those is actually Reddit SEO, that a lot of people like on that. Like I'm more like thinking about brand management so that you are present on the Reddit in a specific way. Also there I will not name the people, but like a lot of experts that started talking about Reddit. I actually comment on LinkedIn and I never got a reply, because there is like different strategies. Do you want to use company profile? Do you want to use like profile of the founders or like employees, so that you have like you need to have build up karma. You need to like know the Reddit very good so that you can offer that. And like I think a lot of people just said like, hey, Reddit is the most cited source there. Like let's be on the Reddit, and they don't have strategy for that. And again, like a lot of people didn't reply on my comments because like I was wondering how they're applying what they're like actually writing there. On top of that, we gave like add-on regarding, as you said, like social media, organic social media content to be present there, like common channel marketing presence. And again, at the end, we gave option of digital PR. It's very nice what you said there. Like a lot of clients recently and people like over prospects, let's say, that they're talking with, they understand right now. They understand right now that like do follow, no follow, it doesn't matter that much, especially for LLMs, because they just want to be present. So like if Forbes, like just use your name or Medium or like whatever of those like big publishers, like again you will get like big amount of authority for LLMs. And again, as you said, like I think a lot of people are scared of unknown, and they will like deny things if they don't understand them. I agree with you for sure regarding user behavior. At the other end, I really think that sometimes like Google News are misleading to the community, especially like for me personally, like the biggest scam ever was Core Web Vitals. I'm not against telling anyone that Core Web Vitals are not important. Yes, they are important, but like we saw probably people like getting ripped off because Google said Core Web Vitals are amazing. They are super important for rankings, whatever. 2 years after that, Core Web Vitals are removed from documentation. So that like actually. Telling us that even sometimes Google can make some mistakes on, or like maybe they're intentional doing that regarding community news, and also regarding recent news about like geo is equal to good SEO. Maybe for AI overuse, but I don't agree with that for other LLMs. And I actually think that people should still like have, how to say, like they need to understand LLM. Yesterday I posted about that. LLMs are made to be affirmative. Like I'm not talking just about SEO and stuff like that. I'm talking about LLMs. Like so, like I cannot trust them. And we actually had very nice conversation via Slack when you said like I went on LLM, I get amazed, and you post that on LinkedIn. I really love that post. Like I went on LLM, it helped me make like cohesive information like there, but then I went to search to check that up, and then like yesterday I post about that because like we hear very bad examples of people taking their own lives because like LM are made affirmative. They are made to tell you good job. Like, do you want to do that? Yes, go do it. Like this idea is very bad. Who cares? Go do it. So problem with that is that I think LLM and search will go one beside one, whatever. So that you have LLM that help you, making the decision. But I still think that you should like be very careful and that you should check output that LLM's giving to you. So regarding part, if SEO is dead and GEO is a new SEO, for me that's like completely nonsense. As we can follow up with data basically every week. Like Google is still like what 96% of the traffic overall, and that's traditional SEO for those who are confused. And then you have like LLM with 0.2% of complete market, and that's like GEO. So yes, I understand a huge dilemma there. I understand, as you said, like conflicts that's happening in the industry. But I really think that like we should educate people more, clients, prospects, and even like colleagues or professionals that following us and that are maybe confused in this new era.
I think I like the specifically you mentioning education, because if you want to educate, and you also mentioned it's a new like space for all of us, and uh, LLM's traffic is very small right now. All of this means we should be open-minded and try things. We should be observing and testing. Um, Obviously, we should not ever forget that Google still is the king in sending traffic. We should still be focused on Google AI overviews, but we sort of some businesses may want to prepare for the future. Some businesses who are gigantic, like huge publishers or that sort of thing, obviously that traffic is still important for them. So it's the open-mindedness. I really appreciated the discussions I had recently with some people. You should feel safe to be able to say your opinion without any, being labeled negatively in any way. Um, we shouldn't, again, there are bad players, but we shouldn't assume like you cannot see people's intention, right? Like that's so you need to give people a chance. And I really hope to see more, like, every time I have this discussion, the conclusion I always come up with is we need more data, and we have a data problem with LLMs. We don't know, like there's a tool that announced recently they have search volumes. I don't know how they're calculating this. It's something we need to like look into and understand, and see, like, I guess I don't know what how that works, but if they done a good job, that's great. But if not, I mean, that's the only thing we have. But we don't know search volumes. We don't know how much, we don't have the tools to estimate traffic to other websites the same way we do with SEO. Like you can plug in any website to a SEO tool and estimate how much traffic they're getting from search. We can do that with LLMs as well. So there's a lot of missing data for us that we need to figure out or try to find ways to test it. It's a very challenging space to be in right now, right? And there's a lot of misinformation, and people are pushing for AI and everything, and it puts a lot of stress on people who are working with clients, and they want to explain, hey, yeah, AI is important, but we still need to focus on the base. There's a lot going on, right? So in summary, what I think is we should have an open-minded approach to the industry, and the way it's changing. We should be investing more time in learning and testing things and sharing them versus, labeling or that sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I really think like what you said, it's amazing there because like for some of the prospects, right, like label like that, cannot like share the names, but like from my personal experience, like a lot of them was like jumping on the hype train, but a lot of them was like still like okay, this is the period, as you said, that we should like use to test the things. This is the period that we should test the waters, and this is the period to actually see what's going on. And then, like as you said, like I'm really scared that any tool still can follow like flawlessly AI mentioning and stuff like that. And I'm really scared that we will not find like very precise tool for that in the time to come. Why? Because like we even know with SEMrush or Ahrefs with like basic Google data that we like know, we know like when you compare that public available data with Google Search Console, you're gonna have like sometimes even like 50%, you know, difference, and that's very bad because like you cannot like comprehend what is realistically there. It's okay, like maybe maybe I like went over the edge there with like 50%, but like clearly there is like a few differences, and people like uh cannot get full data. That's the whole point. The point of the LLMs and stuff like that, as I said, with the prospects, like my usually like educational process going like that. Hey, this is the data that we have. Yes, like ChatGPT and other LMs, they're generating users like at a way bigger pace, and like way faster than other than Google for now. But again, like Google is established product that like is there for years and completely king of the market, which they have problems currently with monopoly. But yeah, that's another story. Anyway, like clearly that something new in the market will generate like more rapid users, and I agree that like that part is good. But like okay, let's see for the data that actually matters. So let's see like how many of those queries are actually like pushed via LM, stuff like that. So we usually like put the data that we have on the table, and from that point we are analyzing why for some prospect is needed super heavy to oriented to GEO or LLMs. And I had actually very interesting conversation where the ICP or actual prospects was like very aware. He said that their ICP is using mostly, they have that data query, that they are using mostly GBT for some recommendations. And in those occasions, even that 0.2% of traffic can be very valuable for them to actually be present there. And I completely like agree that standpoint and that direction, because like he actually knew that LM traffic is used in a user journey of his ICP, and he wants to be present there. That's amazing. Again, we are talking about company who was already super present on the Google, and the company that following that was super present on the LLMs. And then we have like the big question, like how we can help those companies to actually rank on Geo, and then you ask them like, do you have like social media team? Yes, we have social media team. We have do you have PR team? Yes, we have PR team. We are like doing PR, work on authority links, whatever. Then you ask them about forums. You're just trying to find in our assumption what's like helping there something that you can help them. And the big problem for me personally still is that we don't have like, and I talked recently about this, that we still don't have a very good way of tracking our impact on Geo, based on our actions that we take. So at the end of the day, I really think like as I said, that education, and if you like present information to the clients in the way that I explained here, uh, giving like them enough transparent information that they can base their needs and strategies on that. And again, I will need to say majority of our clients uh, basically didn't opt in to change any strategy, even if we educate them and explain them about the Geo, explain them about everything there, what's affecting, they actually stay on the route, and we have like constant growth with 99% of our accounts.
Okay, you just came up with a few things I wanted to discuss, and I wrote them down. When remember the client we worked with, they asked us about geo and that sort of thing,
Yes.
and one of the things we discussed is the conversion value. The traffic, as you said, it's very low. One way I would evaluate if this is something we should invest effort in for the client is the conversion value. What is the potential conversion value? And I would match that with the search volume on Google to see the interest, or even Google Trends. What is the interest in that topic? Obviously, I will never be able to estimate how much people prompt LLMs to. I will not be able to get that number, but I want to know the online interest, right? So if we mix both of those, the conversion value and the traffic numbers just to and I'll use it as an interest, not a specific number for LLMs. Then I can say, okay, this is a good channel or something you can worth investing, right? Like if let's say if you have a very high conversion value, so even if the traffic is very small, that sort of justifies it. And if you have a high conversion value or a good conversion value, but then there's a huge search traffic, let's say it's about a topic or a product that has 50K searches for like the main keyword, and then there is more, of course, then I would say, yeah, that's probably, there's going to probably be some interest on good interest on LLMs that justify us doing the work there. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. And then I want to go back to Brent mentions something I remembered from really old time. So I worked at some point when I was in Dubai. I worked in a travel on a travel website, and it was huge, like a huge travel website. And obviously we did a lot of competitor analysis and stuff like that. And one of the things I noticed, people used to do a tactic where they go on like TripAdvisor or that sort of thing, and obviously they cannot post links, so they would write in the title, hey, what do you think about that website.com, and it's not clickable, right? And when I used to tell people like unlinked brand mentions is worth it, it was dismissed. And even later when I moved to Canada and I started working in an agency, I remember we had a client who had a good presence on Instagram, and one of the I always like to look at the social presence for the clients when that's possible. So I said, okay, if we can add, like, to every post that they can add a link. Obviously, links on Instagram are not clickable in the post, but I still said, okay, these are going to be read by Google and indexed, and it's an unlinked brand mention, but that was totally dismissed. It was not a thing, right? So, what I'm trying to say, there's a lot of, not a lot, it's just there are some few things, and it's just I think we're pretty much aligned. And every time I talk to people who are naysayers to GEO, I feel we are still aligned. It's just we see things differently. I posted recently this dress, remember, from 2015?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
is it
yes,
blue
yes.
and black or white and gold? And I have no idea how people see this blue and black. And I'm assuming some people cannot see it white and gold as well. And this is
Yes,
what's
yes.
happening. It's just the same dress, right? So yeah, it's we're discussing things from a different angles, and I think that's okay. Is there anything else you want to add to this discussion before we wrap it up?
Yeah, no, like just like slight overview and recap of what you said, like, and with that we can like wrap it up for sure. As I said, like we don't want to make from this like huge like discussion there. Probably like some topics in the future, maybe like even like webinars if we like decide on that. We can add more people so that it can be like longer down the road. But for now, I just want to keep it short and like sweet. The only way that I want to wrap it up with slight recap of what you said. Like I really think like all of those uh, differences in approaches that we had like across the years regarding like brand mentions that you mentioned, similar stuff to that, are actually something that is like amazing for the industry because like I think the whole industry in SEO is based on test and trial. So if you have like anything there to test and to try, you can evolve. You can find actually by yourself what is working. And I always advise like beginners in this industry even to this day that they should start their own project. Clearly like when you start working or like you get like enough knowledge, uh, reading blogs, educating yourself, going on webinars, or like working in the agency as junior. It's amazing to start your own project and then like find out what is actually working. But like my final end, I always love to put myself in the perspective of the business owner or like our potential client. So the whole part there is the whole part there is for me pretty straightforward. You made maybe one of the best things that and foundations that every business owner should ask themselves. First, if you have like clear data that like your ICP using LLMs for user journey, as I explained in my example, amazing. You should focus on that. But second part is like regarding our project that we collaborated together. It was like at the end of the day, we can say it was like consumer, like oriented business. And then like we asked like, hey, like does those like 0.2% of traffic that you can generate VLM like really matters in terms of revenue and investment, in terms like what more we need to do and invest time wise, money wise, authority wise, whatever, and will that reflect at your endpoint of revenue, you know? Because I really think that me and you we agree on one thing here, and that's like we never talk about SEO in terms of keyword traffic, stuff like that. We always try to connect that with revenue. SEO is marketing channel, and like at the end of the day, SEO is there to make money for for the clients. But the whole point is like that really education on the side of the clients should be like in well enough at the end of the day, so that they can realize, okay, if I need to do all of those things that we mentioned, Reddit, social media, authority building, whatever, that actually increase possibility to be on LLM, will that yield enough revenue for me compared, for example, to traditional SEO? And if you can like optimize your website to be present on the webs on the sorry on the Google. At the end of the day, again, I would always advise that SEO should be always tackled first, because with good SEO you should probably yield some results on LLMs. But your decision as a business owner, should you invest in GEO, should be based on that. Can you justify investment in those ads on, so that you can generate results from the GEO? And like until we don't get like clear tracking and data, as you said there, I really think that's like the biggest problem that a lot of founders have, and they just want everything, and everything is more expensive because like again, GEO is not the same as SEO, and if you want to focus on GEO, you need to do multi-channel discipline compared to traditional SEO. So that would
Just
be like, you know,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
my final sentence. No,
I,
that
I
would be
think
my final wrap up.
my final wrap up is based on what you're saying. It's a strategy thing, right? It's a strategy question. We're not trying to do everything and hoping everything works out fine. We're trying to be eagle eye specific what tactics we want to use. And I think is Reddit worth it for this client or not? Is going after these things, is it worth it or not? That's the question. And that's why we're trying to figure out what fits where. So it's a strategy question. That's a very good point you brought up. I like this. We're not going through a huge checklist of every single tactic on the planet. We want to make sure we're choosing things that matter and get results for this specific client. Yeah, that's I think
Absolutely.
that's the essence of all of this discussion. Like at the end of the day, we're trying to answer this question. I think we've touched on a lot of great points today, and hopefully, if you have any ideas, guys, for what you want us to talk about next time, or if you want a special guest as well, we're open to that. We're gonna bring on guests. I'm working with Nick on brainstorming our next session, but we're also open for suggestions. Let us know what you think of this episode. If you have any questions, reach out. And thank you so much for listening to us.
And the name suggestion, name
Yeah,
suggestions,
name
please.
suggestion, please. It's a no name SEO podcast right
For
now.
now.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Thank you so much and have a good Thursday. Bye.